It's Collette from the Sacred Rose Temple, and I've been recording quite a lot. I am in the midst of doing quite a lot of production for, first of all, Shift Network. I'm doing a course that's launching in September that I'll be really excited to share with you all soon, and working alongside a dear sister called Elaine Kalila Doherty on her Mary Magdalene course that's currently running. So recording for that, writing content for those calls too. And I've been involved with doing some work for an up and coming magic school retreat that's going to be in a beautiful big venue in the UK in 2025. So there's some exciting news about a new magic school that I'm opening with a couple of fantastic people, actually. So I'll share more about that later on. And also within my own mystery school, creating courses of the womb priestess. And currently beginning to start a new year of working through a 3 year module of womb work with women. Um, they are optional, the 3 years. You can stop at any point. Year one is the 13 Roses Rediscovering Sacred Sexuality. The second year is Gatekeepers of the Womb. We enter into the deep teachings of the womb. And then the following year and the final year of the 3 year Academia of Mystery is Womb Magic, Deep Teachings of Womb Magic. And by the time people enter into womb magic, they have done a lot of shadow work, they've done a lot of healing, they are aware of where magic needs to come from that's ethical and light and connected to to the creator and beloved, and what the role is as a womb magi, as a womb high priestess. And on this third and final year, the graduation allows them to accumulate enough points to enter into Ubiquity University to be able to study a Doctor of Ministry. So that's pretty crazy stuff, that we're in a time now where work that we're doing as women, especially in the feminine mysteries, is being recognized as valid work and contributing to graduate, postgraduate studies. Amazing, mind blowing. And yeah, big thanks to Ubiquity University for being the university that has trailblazed these types of academia. And just, take a look at their page. I'll pop it under this video about the kind of degrees and masters and PhDs that they offer. It's mind blowing and really heartwarming to see that we're moving forward into a more connected spiritual world, which, for people like me and you who watch my work, it's just the way we've always wanted the world to go. So I wanted to share those the good news and what's been happening in my life, because sometimes I feel like I'm totally, disappeared off social media. And because I'm working on social media and I'm working on writing courses, but I'm aware that you don't see my face, and that this has been an opportunity tonight that I've been able to jump on. I wanted to just talk also about just like feminine friendships and the sisterhood. And I've just had 10 days away in Provence at the south of France, where I run a retreat with my dear friend Veronique Fleol. And we gathered women to do a retreat with us called Bloom, in the energy of the Magdalene at Saint Bon, the forest that Magdalene lived in and spent her last days in the cave of Saint Bon. And also working with nature. So I was doing my feminine mystery work within the field of druidry and mysticism and Christian mysticism, and also just working with women's transformation. And as always, when I host these retreats, I'm always blown away about the women that turn up. I think in a day and age where we see the world in quite a chaotic state, that seeing women show up, and they're showing up to connect more, to transform, to be closer to nature, to be inspired by women like Mary Magdalene, who have led a mystical path forward for us, it really gives me deep hope. And this group of women were particularly spectacular, and I had such a beautiful experience hosting, leading, and being able to sit equally in that circle of women with women who were highly intuitive, deeply motivated by feminine mystery, very willing to be open to work on themselves, also step in and lead and share. And the transformations that happened to these women were really, really obvious. And the blooming and the things that changed for them, and the friendships we made, and the connections and the feeling we had for each other at the end of the retreat was very, very, very heartwarming. And what happens is after that retreat, I picked up the very next day a very dear friend of mine from many years ago when I first started into like the womb wisdom work. And me and this friend were caught up in this school that things went a little bit wrong, shall we say. And we have kept in touch for years. We have a deep understanding of one another. It was so lovely to have her in my home and to share old memories and to again just do some healing together, like healing, making bridges, feeling how we've changed over the years and what happened then and where we are now and not regretting any of it. And yeah, I and she left today and it was really upsetting to say goodbye, to say the least. So yeah, as she departed on the train to go to Paris, I just really felt this deep appreciation actually for the women that are in my life, that are women that are commandeering and stepping forward into conscious evolution. And another woman messaged me and said that she'd seen me with our friend and she was missing me. And I just reached out back to her and said, yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel this kind of, in this sisterhood that we're in that might be distant. We live miles away. Like that friend came from Australia. This other friend is from Bermuda. And just there's been a few messages in my inbox today from women that I deeply love and respect and honor who have really kept doing the work on themselves, with themselves, and we collide infrequently but enough to know that we deeply respect and love each other and that we are on a similar path but different. And yeah, I just wanted to share that whole concept of sisterhood and the whole concept of friends and women. And in my work of gathering women in circle here on the land in France, I hold women's circles, and in my classes that I teach yoga and philosophy in, and in the clients that I see that are women in all these circles, how when we come together, things happen. They really do happen. We begin to kind of manifest these tighter knit circles with women who are on the same wavelength and that are after the same thing. And the people that fall away from those circles, they are just in a different place and a different frequency, and there's no right and wrong and no better or worse. But when we stick together as women, when we actually keep coming together and saying, oh, this is like changing me, or I really feel how important it is to be with other women, and we can go and feel the pains that might come up as we meet and the triggers and the all that little disharmony that happens until the harmony settles in a group is really big teaching for me. Holding the space, of course, learning my own mistakes, my own shadows, where I am triggered, not receptive, closed, the same as every other woman in that circle. I'm no different. But how we navigate that as women, how we accept difference, how we allow different opinion, how we can speak to each other that might be controversial or triggering or not in the same thought. And that's pretty important for me on my journey as I've moved through with women is how we navigate spaces where we don't agree with harmony and peace and open-mindedness. And it's not always easy. That if we have different beliefs, if we have different opinions, if we have different ways of navigating life as women, when we might challenge each other, how that's received, how we take it, what we do with the trigger, how we try and do that without upsetting each other. And even if we do, we do get upset sometimes. Things upset us. We don't like being told that someone disagrees with us, or that the way that we're operating is not the way that they would. It's not easy. And I've been really navigating this land personally over many years, but even more so whenever I gather community, and I've done it all my life. I have brought community together. I have held teaching spaces since I was 20. And the teacher in me and the gatherer in me always goes through the cycles with everybody else of the stages of gathering community, which are the little rose tinted glasses. We all love each other at first, and then the disagreements and the differences come up. And actually, the consciousness and the true transformation is in that second part, when we can look at each other and say, right, I don't think like you, I don't feel like you, I have a different opinion of you, I don't like some things you do, but let's talk about it. Let's not blame the other. Let's not come to a place where the door's closed, but where we can still be open in our disagreements, and where we understand that we're not always just going to get nice stuff, that we are going to be challenged and we are going to be told stuff that we do not want to hear. That grows us actually. And I was giggling the other day speaking to someone about this very thing, in that, I pay people, I go to people in the week for sessions to be told things I don't like about myself, because I know that's where the growth is, that's where the shadow work is, that's where I learn about the feminine and masculine in me that isn't always good, that isn't always in harmony, that can actually be quite dysfunctional and causing me lots of problems in life. And so when this comes up free in circles or with other women and we run away from it, then are we really doing the work? So I think for all of us as women, it's going to come up that we disagree, that we might get triggered, that we might say something that hurts another, that somebody might say something to us that we don't like. And how do we navigate through that? This is all that what we have to go through as women to be able to come together again like we used to in the ancient times, how we reconcile difference, how we bring peace and harmony to differing beliefs, how we meet each other in the middle field of right and wrong. It's all big teachings for the soul, and not all of us are ready for that. And many of us get triggered and run away from that. But when we're ready, we come in and say, okay, I'm going to learn from this situation. I'm going to learn from that other woman that I don't agree with. I'm going to learn from these women what is in me that causes me disharmony and disconnection from other women, what causes me pain, where the triggers are that need healing in me, and where I can come to this peace, this place eventually that's just really peaceful when I'm around other women, even if they say things I do not like. So that's kind of a little like goal for me in life as I work more and more with women and always have held space for women, is that we've got to get better at weaving with each other. We've got to get better at forgiving. We've got to get better at understanding that we are different, and we've got to stop running away from each other. So, yeah, I'm just grateful to all the women over the last couple of weeks that have been really, really supportive and really big teachers for me and comrades in this journey of sisterhood and the feminine mysteries. And so I want you to think about that in your own lives. Like, how can you invite more women in? How can we actually come together? How can we meet more? How can we be peace together? So thank you all for listening, and I will see you again, no doubt. Bye for now.